It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, a very important game today. One of the two teams you're about to meet will be the first of the final four in this year's elementary school competition. Let's meet the teams now. First from Northview Elementary School, please say hello to Isaiah Harrison, Carlos Regino, and Jacob Goldberg. And from Rockledge Elementary School, please welcome to our program Cam Evans, Adia Cheney, and Josh Bistany-Reedman. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty, with the easier ones worth 5 and 10 points and the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds, we will have the first of our 4 finalists in this year's competition. Imagine we started with 40 elementary schools. We're almost down to the final 4, so you're looking at the best of the best here. Both of these teams have won our game previously. They're here today. Welcome back to everyone. Carlos, try your buzzer if you would for me. Thank you. Good luck to you, to Isaiah, and to Jacob. The young men in the lab coats and the ties looking good, and the Roadrunners over at Rockledge looking equally good. Adia, try your buzzer. Thank you. Good luck to you, to Cam, and to Josh. Are we ready? Good. Let's have a great game, and congratulations on making it this far in the competition. You are all just terrific. We go alphabetically, N before R. So, Carlos, let's play the game.
Zoo Parade for 25, please.
Zoo Parade for 25. The big one in that category to start us out. Teams, gills in fish function like our lungs. But they also, since they regulate chemicals in the fish's blood, also act like what paired organs that we have. Rockledge. Yes, ma'am.
Liver?
Not the liver. Good try. Northview, what paired organs that clean chemicals from the blood do we have that act similarly to gills in fish?
Kidneys.
Kidneys, yes. Paired was the key word there. Nice start to the game for 25 points for Northview. Go red.
Body systems for 25, please.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, scientists have found the remains of who they think is a long-dead English princess. To confirm her identity, they're looking at the decay rate of strontium-90, which is an isotope, and it is found in what hardest part of the body? Rockledge.
Bones.
Not bones, no. The hardest part of your body is where this strontium-90 isotope decays. Can you tell me what it is for 25 points?
Teeth.
More specifically.
Your teeth marks.
Good try. Enamel. The enamel on your tooth is what we were looking for. That is indeed the hardest part. Good try. Both sides. Go again. Red.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Teams, off the coast of Venezuela, lightning almost constantly occurs. They think it is because this gas that comes off of swamps and is associated with cow flatulence is there in abundant amounts. Rockledge, name that gas.
Ammonia.
Good try. Not ammonia. What is this gas associated with cow flatulence that comes off of swamps that is building up off the coast of Venezuela and we think contributing to all this lightning display?
I'll give it to Jacob.
Jacob.
Soot.
Methane. Methane is the name of that gas. All right. All right, you're not striking rich with 25-point questions, but you choose. Go. Red.
Dateline science for 25, please.
Dateline for 25 points. Multiple choice question teams. The newest chemical element on the periodic table, number 112, is being named for a 16th century Polish astronomer. Is it Aristotle, Lamarck, or Copernicus? Rockledge.
Copernicus?
Copernicus. Nicholas Copernicus, that 16th century astronomer. Yes, indeed. He helped to give us a sense of the heliocentric model of the world. Go. Green. Tie score, 75 all.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, dendroclimatology is the study of rainfall and past climates by analyzing and counting these. Rockledge. Yes, ma'am.
I refer to Cameron.
Cam, what do you think?
Roots.
Not roots. Good try. Dendroclimatology, the study of rainfall and climates of the past by analyzing and counting these. Tree rings. Tree rings. Dendroclimatology, dendrochronology. You're not finding out the age of the tree, but rather the thickness of the rings tells you something about the past climate and whether it was a dry season or a wet season. Try again, green.
Zooprey for 20.
Zooprey, 20 points. Question, teams. Since coyotes are interbreeding with red wolves, it is hard to find a pure breed coyote anymore. Seems like all of them are these. Northview? Yes, sir?
Hybrids.
Hybrids, that's right. Good. Thank you, Isaiah. Go red.
Body systems for 20, please.
Body systems for 20 points, teams. President Franklin Roosevelt died of a massive stroke, or so we think. Now scientists think that he also suffered from melanoma, which is a deadly form of what? Northview.
Polio?
Not polio. Good try. Good try. We also think that President Franklin Roosevelt, had melanoma, which is a deadly form of what?
Asthma?
Skin cancer. Skin cancer. The president was, in fact, a polio victim, Carlos. That's quite true, but we didn't think that was contributory to his death. The buzzer is rung. Quick first round. 95 Northview, 75 Rockledge. Back with round 2 in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to this all-important semifinal matchup here on Scienceville. 2 great elementary schools, one of whom is destined to be one of the final 4 in this year's elementary competition. Let's go over and talk to the teams and find out about our players, all of whom have been here before and know this game well and play it just beautifully. Northview Elementary, a school that is just a few years old. And tell us about these lab coats you're wearing. Nobody can fail to notice that you've got them on. You look great, Carlos.
Whose
idea was it?
It was like Mr. Moffat's idea. He was like saying that there was this clothing company, and then they said that you're in the Science Bowl, so they gave us like free coats to make us look like lab coats.
And you get to keep them?
No, we don't. Miss Grove keeps them.
She keeps them. Well, they certainly look like they're beautifully cleaned and starched over there. You look like you stepped right out of a laboratory, and you guys are wearing your ties, and you look really sharp over there. Just like your sponsor, Mrs. Grove, does. Always just dressed so nicely, so she's influenced you well. Tell us a little bit about your school. It's in Bowie. Who's your principal? She's the, what is she the queen of?
She's the reading queen, and her name is Judith T. Bissett.
Wonderful.
And we also have a vice principal who's Mr. Simmons. He is the smart board smart man because he's so interested in technology and the smart board that is new to our school.
Smart
and
board,
he is a new
smart
dad
man.
as well.
Wow. Does he have a little boy or girl?
It's a girl. It's a girl.
It's a baby girl. Oh, boy. I know how proud he must be, and I'm sure he's very proud that you're mentioning that today. Thank you, Carlos. You're a fine young man to do that. Tell me about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I hang out with my friends, read Lord of the Rings, or I would play video games.
Video games. Great. And any alternates on your team?
We have Talon Hall and Brandon Vessels.
Wonderful. We'll bring them out in just a little bit and keep playing as well as you are. Jacob, nice to have you back with us. Tell us where you come by all your science knowledge. How do you know so much?
My dad usually finds things on the computer.
And he shares them with you. And I know you keep up with science in the news because that's evident here. And someday you hope to be a scientist, don't you? Yeah. And what do you do in your spare time?
I like to play with Legos or play Video games.
And video games. All right, you and Carlos have that in common. How about you, Isaiah? You like video games too? Yeah, it just goes with the age, doesn't it, huh? Tell me about your dreams. What do you want to do someday?
I would like to be a paleontologist or a technician. I really love technology and the study of fossils.
Wow. And those really go together because fossils, it's not just, you've got to really take your time, you've got to date those things, you've got to know something about radiochemistry with isotopes and all. So there's a lot involved in that. You're a very studious young man. I know you're going to do very well with that. What do you do in your spare time?
I'd play video games, play sports, or catch up on my facts.
Wonderful. Catch up on your?
Facts.
Facts. Very good. All right. Yeah, you need that for a game like this, don't you? Rockledge, nice to have you guys here. Let me go back to Northview for a second. Carlos, what's the mascot at Northview?
The Nighthawks.
The Nighthawks. Okay, we got that. Would Nighthawks eat roadrunners? I don't know. Maybe roadrunners could outrun them. They're pretty big birds. The roadrunners at Rockledge. Adia, tell us about this Bowie school. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Mrs. Landry, and our vice principal is Mrs. Forte.
Wonderful. And the sponsor of your team, Mrs. Kerner, she's out there. This is her first year sponsoring, and she's doing such a great job. I know she's nervously watching down there in the green room, and she's helped us out in the past helping to judge the program. So she's a real Science Bowl aficionado and sponsor. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to draw, I like to read, and I like to go outside and ride my bike.
Great, great. Do you have any alternates on your team, Adia?
Our alternates are Maeve Baker and Victoria Omadili.
And I remember meeting them before, and they are just so up in the air about all this. They're just great young people. We'll meet them in a few moments. What do you want to do someday?
I want to invent something great like Bill Gates did and change the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. What a great, noble ambition. Don't lose sight of that. Cam, nice to have you back. Young man who loves Komodo dragons, wants to open his own zoo. He just loves animals from A to Z, right? Do you have any pets at home?
I have 2 lizards and 2 dogs.
Why am I not surprised you have lizards? What kind of lizards are they?
They're leopard geckos.
Leopard geckos. Can they walk up walls and ceilings and all that?
Well, they can't walk up glass because that's what their cage is made of, but they climb a fake tree that's in their cage.
Yeah.
So.
I guess glass doesn't have enough friction on there. I guess it's just too smooth. What do they eat?
They eat mealworms and crickets.
Crickets. All right. Well, I'm sure you're a good custodian, a good zookeeper there, Cam. Josh, nice to have you here. Tell me a little bit about what you do in your spare time.
I usually watch TV and read books.
Yeah. And what kind of books you like?
Just books.
Just any kind of books. You're like one of those omnivorous readers. Give you a book and you'll get into it. And I asked him earlier, because he was talking about favorite television shows, and of course his favorite show at my prodding was Science Bowl. But what other shows do you like?
I like the Mythbusters.
Yeah, Mythbusters. And do you ever watch CSI?
A tiny bit.
Sometimes, yeah. Those are good mysteries as well. They always solve them perfectly in 60 minutes, it seems. All right, let's get back to our game. 75 Rockledge, 95 Northview. And Red, you gave us the last correct answer, so Carlos, would you start us out?
Science Potpourri for 25, please.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, a taxidermist is someone who stuffs animals. But the scientist who classifies and names animals is known as this. That would be a taxonomist. A taxidermist stuffs them, a taxonomist names them. Try again, Red. You have a 20-point advantage, Carlos.
Dateline Science for 20, please.
Dateline for 20 points. Very interesting question. Teams, back in 1947, a moth got stuck in a Mach 2 computer, which was very big at the time. They finally got that moth out. Ever since, we have used this term to fix a computer that has something wrong with it. What is that term? Carlos.
Bug.
Give me more.
I'll give it to Jacob.
You're trying to fix it. There was a moth inside. They got it out. So now whenever we talk about fix a computer, we use this term.
There's a bug in the program?
Judges? Judges are saying yes. They're going to give that to you. They were also looking for debugging, but bug in the program is fine. Good. Red.
Science Potpourri for 20, please.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, an Australian author of a book called The Nutmeg Constellation realized a lifelong dream. Cam will appreciate this. He got to hold in his hands an Australian monotreme. But the animal didn't like it much. He stabbed him with a venomous spur on his hind leg. What strange Australian mammal was he holding, Northview?
Platypus.
A platypus, that's right. The only venomous mammal. The males have a venomous spur. Red.
Let's get physical for 20, please.
Get physical for 20 points. Teams, a White House astronomy panel recommends that before the U.S. goes back to the moon with men or to Mars with men, we should perhaps try to go to one of these heavenly bodies that orbits between Mars and Jupiter. What are those bodies called, Rockledge?
Asteroid.
You got that right. Good answer, young lady. Okay, Adia, thank you, Josh and Cam, for your assist. 95 to 135 advantage, green.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, listen carefully. Any member of the grass family that produces starchy grains that can be used as food by people, especially at breakfast, are known as these. Rockledge. Yes. Adia. Answer?
Pollinators.
Not pollinators, no. Northview. Any member of the grass family but that produces a starchy grain that is edible by humans, especially at breakfast, are known as these.
Grains.
Cereals. Cereals. You eat cereal for breakfast. Go. Green.
Oh, that's what I meant. So close.
Zupre for 15.
Zupre, 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If female elephants are forced to eat poor quality vegetation because of a drought, perhaps, it will compromise their lactation. Meaning what happens? What happens? Rockledge.
Less milk. Less rich milk. Less rich milk. They have less rich milk?
Absolutely right. The quality of the milk is much reduced. It is poor quality. Nicely stated, too. Green. Go.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, some insects can survive in the Arctic because their bodies produce glycerol, which is just like what substance that we put, Northview? Yes, sir. What did you want to tell us?
I'll give it to Isaiah.
Isaiah, what do you want to say?
Molasses?
Not molasses. Good try. Glycerol. Nice try. Glycerol. Some insects that live in the Arctic produce glycerol in their bodies to help them survive the winter, which is just like what substance that we add to the car radiator?
Oil.
Antifreeze. Antifreeze. Try again, green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, a plant is considered a female plant if it has this reproductive structure and no other. Rockledge. What structure classifies it as a female plant?
Stamen.
Not a stamen, nope. Northview?
Pistol.
Pistol, that's right. Look out, the plant's got a gun. Yes, go. Red.
Body systems for 15, please.
Body systems, 15 points. Teams, the lowest pairs of these bones are said to be floaters because they are not attached to your sternum. What bones are they, Rockledge? Yes.
Your thighs.
Not your thigh. No, no. Northview. What lowest pairs of these bones are said to be floaters because they're not attached to your sternum?
Ribs.
Ribs, that's right. You got floating ribs down there. The whole story of Adam and Eve and one rib taken out and one put back in. Go. Red.
Potpourri for 15, please.
Potpourri, 15 points. Teams, any substance other than food that is used as a medicine or an ingredient in medicine is regulated by the FDA because it is a what? Northview?
A drug?
A drug, that's right. Food and Drug Administration. Good parsing of that answer. Good. Go.
Dateline science for 15, please.
Dateline for 15 points, teams. Even before it was seen, this planet's existence was indicated by the gravitational pull on its neighbor, Uranus. Rockledge?
Neptune.
Neptune. Good answer. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Josh, for your help. 180, 125. Green.
Zupre for 10.
Zupre, 10 points. Teams, because these deep-sea gelatinous creatures flip their fins, Northview?
Jellyfish.
Not jellyfish. Finish it for Rockledge. Because these deep-sea gelatinous creatures flip their fins and that they look like big ears, they are named for what famous Disney elephant?
Dumbo?
Dumbo, that's right. Gelatinous Dumbos is what we're looking for. Green.
Green things for 10.
Green things, 10 points. Teams. Land densely overgrown with tropical vegetation is the name of Rudyard Kipling's book that stars Mowgli. What book, Northview?
The Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book. That's it. Good answer. Carlos, go.
Let's get physical for 10, please.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, the ancient Egyptians, the makeup they used contained antibacterial particles, but it was also dangerous because it contained the chemical element symbolized PB that has... Yes, Carlos?
Lead.
Lead, that's right. It's also taken out of paints and gasoline. Red, please.
Body systems for 10, please.
Body systems for 10. One of the early signs of Alzheimer's disease is said to be the loss of this olfactory sense, meaning the loss of the sense of what? Northview.
The sense of hearing?
Not hearing. Good try. Rockledge, the olfactory sense is the sense of what?
Smell.
Smell. Good, good comeback. Red, green, please.
Science potpourri for 10, please.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams. In Avatar, the creature, the Uruk, looks like a deer, but it must have some insect in it too because it has how many legs? Rockledge.
6.
6. It's got 6 legs. Go, green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline, 10 points. Question is as follows. Bill and Melinda Gates, who I know Adia admires, have begun a program for sterilizing all of the mosquitoes in Africa in order to fight what disease? Northview.
Malaria?
Yes, sir. Good. Go.
Green things for 5, please.
Green things for 5 points. Teams. This fluffy substance that in milkweeds is white and in corn it is brown has the same name as what we use to get stuff out between our teeth. Northview.
Floss?
Floss. That's right. They call it floss. Next. Red.
Body systems for 5, please.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams. Since it is being used for dinner, the blood that vampires eat, since it's not being used for a transfusion, they don't care what blank it is. Rockledge.
Type.
Type, that's right, because there will be no bad reactions. All right, the buzzer has rung. It looks like Northview has done it. They have won the Battle of Bowie here today. We'll be back in a moment with a wrap-up. Don't go away. And welcome back. What a game it was. All of the talent on this panel showed through. We are proud of each and every one of our players. They are champions all. Our final tally today is Rockledge 160, Northview 215. Congratulations to the guys in the white coats over here, Isaiah and Carlos and Jacob and Brandon and Talon back there. Let's see some smiles. Where are your white coats? I think you deserve them too. Mr. Moffitt and Miss Groh, thank you for your wonderful work. You guys are going to the semifinals, the first of our 4. Rockledge, let's see some smiles over there. What a great game you played, Cam and Adia and Josh. You came up with some clutch answers over there. And back there, Maeve and Victoria, they're still smiling. That's what I like to see. Miss Kerner, Miss Cheney, and Miss Asaka, thank you all for all that you did. And I hope to see you play our game again. We'll see you next time on another semifinal here on the Science Bowl. Bye now.